University of the Incarnate Word tomorrow morning. Education Day, what does that mean to this program to bring those students in?
First of all, our Education Day is the very best in the country, and I will argue with anyone about that. We're expecting over 13,000 students, and that is just a testament, first of all, to our marketing department. So I want to give a shout out to Bryce and his crew for that, and how hard they work, like getting the word out. But secondly, I just want to give a shout out to West Texas, because it's not just Lubbock schools. I mean, obviously the Lubbock schools come, and we're so appreciative of that, but we're talking about a radius of 60 to 80 miles around Lubbock of people loading their kids up and bringing them for a field trip. And I love that they are getting to experience what not only Lady Raider basketball is about, but what Texas Tech is about. You know, I hope that those kids leave tomorrow wanting to be a Red Raider, and I think that's what it's for. I think that's what it's all about, is the school spirit and just exposing them to what college life is like. And I love the fact that our girls get the benefit of playing in front of so many people.
What are some challenges that they bring that y'all need to watch out for and kind of get on quick?
Incarnate Word is very well coached. I've been friends with Jeff Dow for a really, really long time, and he always has his teams very well prepared. They are very methodical. They only average 12 turnovers a game, and they just don't mess up. They don't give you extra opportunities with the basketball. So we're going to have to really do a good job of trying to create extra opportunities, whether that's turning them over, which is going to be difficult because they don't turn the basketball over, or getting on offensive boards. We're just going to have to be able to create more possessions. They're going to want to slow it down. They're going to want to, like I said, be really methodical, and we need to play with pace, and we need to play a little bit faster. So we're going to have to be able to, instead of slowing people down and not playing at a really high rate, we're going to have to speed them up to be able to get more possessions.
Do you wear earplugs for Education Day?
I don't, but I highly recommend it for the adults that are coming to the game. No, because that would drive me insane, because I would need to be able to, obviously hear my kids or hear my coaches or whatever, but I do not.
And just the time between the last time y'all played, I know you talked about, getting some rest, and, the players had finals. How did the time in between games sort of go for y'all?
Yeah, I thought it's been a really good week for our kids. I think that they were able to focus on their finals. We even have some kids taking them today. So I know that, they're ready for those to be over. But at the same time, I thought we got some good rest. We got some good practice in too. We needed to practice. We played so many games that we haven't been able to really concentrate on or fix some of the things that we're doing offensively or defensively. So I think our practices have been good. I think our kids have handled it pretty well. I'm hopeful that they're not completely drained mentally tomorrow, and obviously I hope the kids give them a little extra boost.
I don't know if we're going to be able to talk, but I think we're previewing your trip to Hawaii as well.
Oh, nice.
Can you look forward to those two matchups and the problems both of those teams pose, and the problems of being in Hawaii and not wanting to play basketball but do other stuff?
Yeah, most people are going to say Cry Me a River, right, that we're going to Hawaii, but as a coach, you are a little bit concerned about it. We want to give our kids these types of travel experiences because it may be the only ones they get in their lifetimes, and so it's a great perk, if you will, for our program. But it is very scary going into a place like that it's going to be distracting. We want our kids to be able to enjoy it. We want our kids to be able to get that experience, but obviously it's a business trip. And two very formidable opponents. Tulsa just upset Florida just a couple of days ago, and Tulsa is very well coached. They can really shoot the basketball well. They kind of play a 5-out, so it's really hard to guard. It's gonna be hard for us to guard them if we want to play our bigs, and our bigs are gonna have to really step up to that challenge. But I think it's gonna be a good test for us. It's gonna be a lot like Santa Clara in that they execute really well and can shoot the ball really well. Oregon, on the flip side, is huge. They are very, very big. They are very disciplined. They run their sets really well, and they're very fundamentally sound. So we're going to have to speed them up. We're going to have to really pressure them in the backcourt to not allow them to get the basketball in the front court where they can easily probably post feed their kids. So both games are going to give us some really tough tests, and I think it's going to be great for us going into conference play with those two games.
Coach, I know the last time we talked, both you and Bailey kind of said that there was a little bit of struggles in the first quarter that you're trying to overcome, and this Incarnate Word defense is the best scoring defense in the Southland Conference. Kind of how do you approach that, and how do you get the team out a little bit earlier?
Yeah, I think that we had to be really intentional about how we want to attack them offensively in our first few possessions. And what makes that difficult is that Incarnate Word plays a variety of defenses. So it's going to be hard for our kids to recognize what they're in, and they're just going to have to execute whatever they decide to call. The other piece of that, it's going to be so incredibly loud that there's not going to be a lot of coaching from the bench in the first half. And that's just what it is. I mean, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for our kids to have to fight it out themselves and to really stick together. I hope that they see a lot of huddles. I hope we see a lot of huddles on dead balls so that they're communicating. But we're going to have a lot of focus and a lot of fortitude to just execute and make sure that we start on a positive note.
And then I know it's not definite yet for the starting five, but do you see any changes in the foreseeable future? Not because anybody's playing worse or anything like that, but just the bench has been elevated recently.
Yeah, I think that we've got some great, obviously, versatility in our lineups. I think that our kids are gelling together. We're not trying to focus too much on who's starting the game, but we just have good combinations out there. But I think that our kids are locked in on that, and I love the unselfishness that they're playing with, and that they're just presenting every day in practice. Like, they don't seem to care, who's starting. They just want the opportunity to get out there and help us win basketball games.
Anything else for Coach?
So Bailey's drawing almost 6 fouls a game, and that's putting her at the free throw line quite a bit. Can you talk about what she does to draw those fouls?
Yeah, I think she's super smart with the basketball, first of all, but she plays with a great change of pace, and that's really hard to do, and that's hard to teach. But she understands how to kind of set her defense up and then change pace and explode and get downhill. She can stop on a dime, which absolutely is difficult to defend, and then she uses her body well, going up through contact. We've worked really hard at getting her to play off 2 feet so that she can get fouled and also score the basketball. And I think she's adapted to that really well. But at the end of the day, she gets fouled because she's tough. And the tougher you are, I think the more you absorb whenever you're attacking the basket.
All right. Thanks, Coach Grillick.
Yep. Thank you, guys.